Chad gets upset when his kid reads about laying the smack down on a large, giant robot toilet, but is totally fine with letting his kiddos sit down and tune into the most recent UFC super fight. Hello everyone and welcome to For These Are My Thoughts. Today I want to talk to you about books. Books are wonderful. They teach us, they entertain us, they relieve stress, and so much more. In fact, Mason O'Cooley, the late Mason O'Cooley, once said, "Books give us some place to go when we have to stay where we are." And the late P.J. O'Rourke once said, "Always read stuff that will make you look good if you die in the middle of it." Which is why I love reading comic books. I love comic books. I love the stories that they're able to tell. I love the way that they're able to tell stories, which, yes, basically I just love the pictures. But I don't actually want to talk to you about comic books at all. I want to talk to you about the series of books that got me to enjoy reading as a child. Dave Pilkey's Captain Underpants series. As a kid, reading wasn't my favorite thing to do, so when my teacher gave me a book about two fourth grade boys who hypnotized their cranky principal to think that he is a superhero who fights crime in his underwear, I was all ears. The Captain Underpants books and series like the Goosebumps books and Magic Treehouse books helped me realize that reading could actually be fun. And if you're a parent, you may have a child that reads the Captain Underpants books or other Dave Pilkey books like the Dog Man series, and they have fallen in love with reading because of that books. Maybe you are that child. But did you know that in certain areas, Captain Underpants and the Goosebumps series and other children's books are actually banned? That's right, banned. Given the same fate as Kinder Eggs, Cuban cigars, and bringing alcohol on a plane. In fact, the Captain Underpants books have gained a bit of a reputation as being one of the most banned book series of all time. And, to be honest, that makes younger me want to read them even more. Now, books are often banned because of inappropriate content like offensive language, hate speech, and sexual content. But they are also banned to protect readers from difficult ideas and information. So basically, Mama Karen doesn't want her little angel reading a book that contains the word poop because of reasons. Which, on the surface, might make a lot of sense. But so does playing Call of Duty all night long when you're in college the day before your hardest final exam. Now, you may be asking yourself, why are the Captain Underpants books banned anyways? And it's a simple 3-word answer. Karens and Chads. I'm forming a love-hate relationship with Karens and Chads. I hate that they exist, but I also love making fun of them. Which is exactly what we're going to do, because there are at least 7 reasons Karens and Chads have tried and at times succeeded in getting the Captain Underpants books and other children's books banned. So let's take a look at just a few of those reasons. The first reason people want to ban the Captain Underpants series is that there is violence in Captain Underpants. Which, sure, there is violence, right? The main characters, George and Harold, 2 fourth grade boys, and Captain Underpants, do fight toilet robots, booger monsters, and other ridiculous creations. And they do so with some really cool flip-o-rama pages.
Played a friendly game of paddleball. Oh, no!
But let me emphasize that they're not fighting other kids. They're not fighting humans. They're fighting giant robot toilets. Chad gets upset when his kid reads about laying the smack down on a large, giant robot toilet, but is totally fine with letting his kiddos sit down and tune into the most recent UFC super fight. But let's move on to Julie. Julie hates Captain Underpants because it contains misspelled words. So some context for you. In each Captain Underpants book, there is a comic that is written by the main characters, Harold and George, who are again 4th grade boys. Since it's written by 4th grade boys, it does contain misspelled words on purpose. And apparently, nothing makes dads with bedazzled jeans more angry than a few misspelled words, even though they have a tattoo on their forearm that says, "Get her done." right? Heaven forbid that kids read a book for fun that has a few misspelled words, probably the same words that they struggle spelling in school. And let's be honest, in Julie's most recent Facebook rant, she misspelled the word your at least 3 times in the same sentence. Like mother, like son, I guess. Now let's talk about Cheyenne. Cheyenne wants to ban the Captain Underpants books because she feels it contains offensive language. Now, when you hear the phrase offensive language, you may think that the book contains swear words like the A word, the S word, and words kids use that aren't appropriate like the R word. But you would be wrong. The offensive language that is referred to includes phrases like that old guy, mean Mr. Krupp, words like poop and fart, and numerous references to underpants. And if you think that those words are offensive, just wait until you peek over Cheyenne's shoulders to see what she's reading about in 50 Shades of Grey. Now, along the same lines as offensive language, people complain about the toilet humor that is in the Captain Underpants books. People have pointed out that the main characters, Harold and George, make jokes about butts, boogers, and lowbrow jokes. But here's the thing, kids love that stuff. It always makes a kid laugh when they hear the word poop or when they hear the word fart. Also, if you're an adult that sees a child reading Captain Underpants and are astonished, offended, absolutely flabbergasted at what they're reading, maybe you should read the title first. Right? Here are some titles for the Captain Underpants books. Captain Underpants and the Attack of the Talking Toilets. Captain Underpants and the Perilous Plot of Professor Poopy Pants. Captain Underpants and the Wrath of the Wicked Wedgie Woman. Captain Underpants and the Battle of the Bionic Booger Boy. And I could go on because all of the Captain Underpants books contains a ridiculous title that clearly shows what your child is going to be reading about. So maybe if parents spent a little bit of time reading the title, they would know what to expect when their child reads the book. That's like going to Subway, walking through the door, going through the line, and when you finally get to the cashier and they hand you a sub saying, "Wait a minute, I didn't order a Subway Club on Italian herbs and cheese. I want a Big Mac," right? It's Subway, you ding-dong. They're going to give you a sub. And so when your kids read Captain Underpants, the Perilous Plot of Professor Poopy Pants, they're going to read a story about a superhero who fights crime in his underwear, waging war against a man named Professor Poopy Pants. What do you expect? And the final reason that parents want to ban Captain Underpants that we're going to cover today is that Captain Underpants endorses unruly behavior in children. So the main characters, George and Harold, are 2 4th graders who break rules, pull pranks, and excel in toilet humor. And parents lose their freaking minds over the goofy pranks, misbehavior, and other antics that George and Harold pull. For example, I once pulled one of the pranks that Harold and George show in the Captain Underpants book, where you take ketchup packets and you put underneath the nubby part of a toilet seat and gently place the toilet seat down on them, so that when someone comes by and sits on the toilet seat, the ketchup packets explode all over their legs and butt. Was my dad irate when I did that to him? Yes. Was it worth it? Yes. Did my dad eventually laugh about it? Yes, because it is funny. The pranks in the Captain Underpants books aren't dangerous. They aren't malicious unless you're an anthropomorphic toilet, right? They are simply meant to make elementary age children laugh. So let the Captain Underpants books be an example the next time you're upset about what your kiddos are reading in school. Maybe just take a few minutes to open up the book, read it, process it, and then make a judgment on if the book actually needs to be banned. Because Captain Underpants books are beloved by children. It makes them want to read. So I'm willing to stand up and say, thank you, Captain Underpants and the Perilous Plot of Professor Poopy Pants, for encouraging children across the world to read, laugh, and not take things so seriously. But what do you think? Comment your thoughts on banned books and Captain Underpants below. If you laughed at the jokes, if you agree, if you find yourself relaxed, please like and subscribe. Make sure that you watch other videos on our channel. And until next time, these are our thoughts, and we'll see you soon.